Do you have a septic tank? Have you ever thought what would happen if you fell into a septic tank? It's a grim thought, but it's important to talk about it. You might be thinking, but who really falls into septic tanks? Well, it does happen, and more often than you'd think. There are loads of news stories about both adults and kids accidentally tumbling into septic tanks, usually because the tank cover wasn't secure or it was old and gave way. Trust me, you should not take this danger lightly. Let's go over real-life incidents. In May of 2022, a 74-year-old woman tragically lost her life after a fall into a septic tank, as confirmed by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. The woman was last seen alive on the evening of May 9th around 6 p.m. The following morning, concerned for her well-being, her daughter requested a wellness check from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Department. Deputies responding to the call discovered the woman's body in the septic tank at her home. The authorities didn't know for sure if the lid to the septic tank had caved in previously, and there was a hole and she fell into the hole, or it was weak, and just her stepping onto it caused it to completely give out where she fell in. But these stories are not as rare as you may think. As an example, the San Juan County, New Mexico had 5 instances in 5 years of people falling into open septic tanks. Here's another recent example. In an unexpected incident, Charles, an Amazon driver, was delivering a package in Apple Valley, California, when he experienced a sudden ground collapse. In an unfortunate turn of events, he found himself inside a septic tank, surrounded by raw sewage. Remarkably, Charles remained composed throughout his rescue by local firefighters. Displaying an exceptional level of dedication, he chose to resume his duties after the incident, delivering approximately 50 more packages for Amazon. Now that's dedication. I don't know if I would have done that. So what could happen if you fell into a septic tank? First things first, falling into a septic tank can really hurt. Depending on how deep the tank is and how you land, you could end up with anything from a few cuts and bruises to serious injuries like broken bones, concussions, or even spinal damage. And let's not forget, you're not landing on solid ground, but a gooey mix of liquids and solids, which can make it tough to get your footing and climb out. The moment you tumble into a septic tank, you're in a toxic world. You've got harmful gases like methane, ammonia, and hydrogen sulfide, which can cause everything from headaches and feeling sick to passing out or even dying if there's a lot of it. And then there's the bacteria and other nasty pathogens. If they touch your skin, get in your eyes or mouth, or find an open wound, you could end up with a serious infection. Some of these infections can cause severe illnesses if they're not treated. Now here's a scary thought. You could drown or suffocate in a septic tank. These tanks are made to hold liquid waste, so if they're full or nearly full, it's easy to drown. Even if the tank isn't filled to the brim, the toxic gases can knock you out, which ups the risk of suffocating or drowning. We also can't forget about the psychological toll. Falling into a septic tank can be terrifying, and that panic and fear can make things even worse. Even after you're safe, you might deal with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, or other mental health issues. You might need counseling right away and mental health support down the line to help you cope. So, let's talk about how you prevent this messy situation. The answer lies in proactive measures and education. First and foremost, regular inspection and maintenance of septic tanks is paramount. This is not a once-in-a-blue-moon kind of task, but a routine that needs to be diligently followed. Regular checkups can help identify potential problems like insecure or old tank covers, which can be promptly addressed, reducing the risk of accidental falls. Now let's talk about the tank covers. They need to be securely closed at all times. A loose cover is a disaster waiting to happen. Think of it as a lid on a boiling pot. You wouldn't leave it off, would you? The same principle applies here. A securely fastened cover not only prevents accidental falls but also keeps those harmful gases where they belong, inside the tank. Another preventive measure that might sound simple but is often overlooked is marking the area of the septic tank. This is crucial to avoid walking or driving over it. You can use anything from a signpost to a garden gnome. Just make sure it's visible and clear to everyone that there's a septic tank below. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, is the role of education. It's crucial that everyone, both children and adults, understand the dangers associated with septic tanks. This knowledge is not meant to scare, but to create awareness and instill caution. Remember, knowing what a septic tank is, where it's located, and the hazards it can pose can be the difference between safety and a potentially life-threatening accident. Prevention is always better than cure, especially when it comes to something as dangerous as a septic tank. So, Let's not wait for a mishap to happen before we take these preventive measures. Now that you know the dangers of falling into a septic tank, what will you do? Do you have any additional tips? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more such content. Stay safe.